Let's go to Tom Brady now. He has 3 road wins, fellas. Yeah, it's that bad, Jeff. Threw 10 touchdown passes and won a Super Bowl and 1 postseason in Tampa during a pandemic, mind you. And oh, by the way, beat Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes along the way. Max, was this the best playoff run by a quarterback ever?
No, it's clearly not, but it's way up there. But there were 2 runs better than this one, clearly. And both times, the guy beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. And that's from Eli Manning. Guys like Jeff Saturday looked at this Bucs team and said, that team's going to go to the Super Bowl. I love this team. Both sides of the ball before the season started. No one was saying that about those Giants teams, right? Then Tom Brady has every weapon you want, and he's playing in the Super Bowl ultimately against a line that's been decimated by injury. I never thought the Chiefs should have been favored. I liked them to win because I thought Mahomes would work miracles in a comeback again. But you know, not because of the shape that the Chiefs were in. Think about Eli Manning's runs, Jeff. The first time, he faces a 9-7 Bucs team with Jeff Garcia, a real NFL quarterback on a 9-7 team, beats him on the road. Goes to Dallas, beats Tony Romo in his prime on a 13-3 team on the road. This isn't Heineke and a 7-9 team. This isn't the end of Drew Brees. This is Romo in his prime on a 13-win team. He then goes to Lambeau and beats Brett Favre on the road. And then Tom Brady in his greatest season with Randy Moss, 50 touchdowns, with Randy Moss, undefeated, about to be crowned the greatest team in sports history, better than any Yankees team, better than the Jordan Bulls. And Eli beats that team and wins MVP. And then, Jeff, he did it again in 2011. The same thing. He beat Alex Smith on a 49ers team. That was a devastating defensive team, 13-win team. He beat Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau, 15-1 that year, and then beat Brady again in the Super Bowl. Both runs by Eli were more on an inferior team compared to this Bucs team. Didn't get to host the Super Bowl, beat Brady twice, who's the GOAT, right, in his prime. Those are the 2 best Super Bowl runs ever. Then this run by Brady.
I like how you tried to sugar me in with this, Max. You tried to bring a Manning in, not my Manning, but you brought a Manning in, which I appreciate. You know what I mean? I give you some points. I like the style. You know what I mean? But I can't. I'm gonna stick with Brady right here now, and which is hard for me to do. You know this is difficult for me to do, but I will say, and the reason I said this is because the way that historians, guys like yourself, will frame this is he went on the road. He beat, to your point, he beat a poor quarterback, but a very good front 7 in Washington in the playoffs. Then he goes and beats Brees, the team that had beat them twice during the season, beats them at home against another exceptionally good defense and the New Orleans Saints. Then he goes to the MVP's house and beats Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay in Green Bay, and then caps it off with the baby GOAT. That's your name, not mine. You know I don't do the baby GOAT nonsense. But the guys that everybody's already crowning to be the next GOAT, and that's what you call them, and he beats them, I mean, handily. And so when we start passing out these things, it seems like they always frame it in quarterback language. So I'm giving it to you in your language. Okay. How I look at the games is completely different. I think Todd Bowles, MVP, held Mahomes to 9 points. That's pretty spectacular. Every one of Brady's championships has been a top 10 defensive football team. This is no different. But I don't look at it any different. I think Eli had some really good teams. They got hot. It looked good. We give all the credit to quarterbacks. So when you go on the road and beat Brees, you beat Brady, you beat Mahomes and Rodgers,
well,
all
let's look
2
at
NFL MVPs, and that run, that's pretty spectacular.
But let's look at it. First of all, the Bucs were firing on all cylinders. They had an elite offensive line this year, top 5 in the league. They had an elite defense, and they were facing a line with 3 starters missing, including both tackles. Okay, so Todd Bowles is a genius. He didn't bring the pressure. They blitzed under 10% of the time. They got pressure on dropbacks over 50% of the time. Why would he send anyone? What that means is you're always on the run for your life, and also no one's ever open, right? But Tom Brady through this playoffs extraordinary. You're right. But let's really match it up. You know, Eli beat a 10-win Matt Ryan team on one of the runs, followed by a 13-win defensive juggernaut in San Francisco with Alex Smith as the quarterback, followed by Aaron Rodgers, who was 15-1, not 13-3 this year.
Max, that was weak.
15-1, followed by Tom Brady himself. Guys, that was Tom Brady. That was the second run.
You put
Alex
both
Smith.
times.
You put Romo, Alex Smith. You put all these guys in the same category. You just said, let's say the names.
Okay,
Max.
let's do it. Hold on.
Breeze, Rodgers.
Let's do 07.
Okay,
let's
Breeze,
do 07.
No.
But,
just say the names.
No,
just wait.
go, Jeff.
Just humor
Let
me
Jeff
here.
Go.
No. But this is Jeff.
Breeze,
This is
Rodgers, Mahomes. I mean, like Romo.
Okay,
Alex
this is
Smith,
where
I don't care what the team is. I don't care what let's just lay it out.
That's 2 different years.
We can't put those guys in the same
don't get
category.
it twisted. This is 2 different years we're talking about because Eli did it twice better than Brady just did it. One at a time. Jeff Garcia over Heineke. We both agree. If you're looking, in the boxing world, Jeff, I know all about this. People try to get you shiny names on your resume. You got to know when they fought. So the bottom line is Romo for the 13-3 Cowboys was a better quarterback that year than Breeze for this Saints team. I think everyone would agree. That Romo was better than this Breeze. And then that Favre at Lambeau was a stud on an excellent team. And then what caps it all off, Jeff, what really outweighs it, Mahomes is great. His line wasn't there. Like he had no offensive line. Brady was on the greatest team of all time. It was in his prime, having his greatest season that Eli beat. But that's just one of the runs. The other run is with Alex Smith on that Niners team. That was an excellent team. Matt Ryan on a 10-win Falcons team. Aaron Rodgers on a better team than he was on this year, 15 wins, and then Brady again. Who's the GOAT, right? Isn't Brady the GOAT? Not the baby GOAT, but the GOAT. And he was in his prime back then, Jeff.
Well, I mean, it all depends on how you're framing it.